The series of No Smokes Without Fire is doing very well. The series on the Green King, which is, of course, is King Charles. So tell us a little bit more.
Well, yes, I would like to thank everybody. You know, we've had some phenomenal comments, and thank you so much, and lots of information as well. So the series is growing all the time and getting much more interesting. But I just want to highlight a little bit from next week's No Smoke, which is going to go out, because this is particularly for us here in the UK, but also our friends in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Particularly pay attention, because we're going to be talking about the Commonwealth and how does it figure in King Charles's plans? Where's the funding streams coming from for King Charles's big sustainable initiatives? And it gets a very interesting story. But I want to introduce you to CANZUK International, and we will be talking about a super Commonwealth, perhaps. And I've got a little bit of video to show you about what is CANZUK, and the clues in the initials CANZUK for Canada, New Zealand, Australia, UK. So CANZUK. Let me introduce you to CANZUK International.
By implementing a CANZUK defense agreement, such cooperation would increase significantly, creating a military alliance of like-minded, sovereign nations with a tremendous presence on the international stage. Firstly, the CANZUK countries are geographically positioned to rapidly deploy operations in either the Atlantic or Pacific Oceans, ensuring the safeguard of sea lanes, trading routes, and offshore territories across the world. Given their locations, and by engaging in closer operations, the CANZUK countries would have a formidable presence to ensure international peace and security. And with a combined military budget of over $110 billion, it would be the third largest military power in the world, larger than Russia or any of the EU countries. Secondly, as Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK collaborate together as part of the already existing Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, the implementation of a CANZUK defense agreement would ensure the effective development of signals, military, and human intelligence, advancing public safety and national security across the four countries. Not to mention, with authoritarian governments across the world seeking greater power and influence, a CANZUK defense alliance would provide a united front in deterring hostile military actions, preventing adversarial action via air, land, or sea, and eliminating threats of war, cyber attacks, and terrorism. Finally, with the United Kingdom occupying a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, a CANZUK military and defense alliance would afford Canada, Australia, and New Zealand representation on this council, providing a stronger, unified voice for these countries and ensuring mutual values of peace and democracy are advocated in all future discussions.
So there's CANZUK International. I can see probably, Mike, there, you've got a comment.
Well, I was wetting myself all the way through that, I have to say, Debbie. I mean, someday we do need to accidentally leave the microphones on while some of that stuff's playing out so that people can get an impression of what we're saying behind the scenes, because that was just ridiculous. Of course, if the only measure of your defense capability is the size of your defense budget, and of course our defense budget is larger than Russia's, and yet our capability is significantly smaller than Russia's, the irony in that statement there just had me in stitches. Yeah, I don't. We have to also consider and put that alongside AUKUS, of course, which brings the United States into the picture as well, and we shouldn't forget that. So, okay, thank you for that, Debbie.